We got the media team in here. We're the media
We're the
team.
media team. We got content. TV's in the go. We got TV in the go, Wack.
You looking for that fire Clubhouse content? Well, you need to subscribe to the home. Hey, yo, Clubhouse TV. Let's get to the content.
That's a good one.
In the block.
You got that, whatever that is they dropped saying Larry Hoover told in 1968.
Yes, I do.
Can you read that real quick?
Yes. Okay, so this is what they dropped. It says Parker High School, located at 6800 Stewart Avenue, was the scene of a youth gang battle on September 4th, 1968. A leader of the Supreme Gangsters, 18-year-old Larry Hoover of 6853 Green Street, informed the police that he was standing in the school hall just outside of the principal's office when two of the East Side disciples appeared. These boys, James Highsmith, age 18 years, of 6534 Emerald Avenue, and Leonard Longstreet, age 20 years, of 633 West 62nd Street, were not students at Parker High School. Hoover related that the two walked past me in the hall and Highsmith smiled. Then Longstreet said, "Burn 'em," and Highsmith pulled a gun and started shooting. I got hit. Bullets also struck two bystanders. Mildred Sevels, age 15 years, of 7214 Peoria Street, and Lewis Jackson, age 15 years, of 6815 May Street. All three Parker High School students were shot in the leg and were rushed to St. Bernard's Hospital for treatment. Only minutes after the shooting, police officers arrested Highsmith and Leonard Longstreet. At the time of Parker High School battle, Longstreet and Highsmith were at liberty on bond awaiting trial on two separate shootings that occurred earlier in the summer. At the same time, the police also arrested 17-year-old Gregory Williams of 6538 Morgan Street, who was carrying a pistol in the Parker High School hall. Williams was a member of the Supreme Gangsters. A Cook County grand jury subsequently returned an indictment number 68-3443, which charged James Highsmith and Leonard Longstreet with aggravated battery on Larry Hoover. Preliminary hearings on the case were held in the courtroom of Judge David Serta on September 17, 1968. Attending the hearings was Vicky Berry, age 16 years, of 6629 South Morgan Street. Vicky Berry was a member of the Supreme Gangsters, of which Larry, and then it cuts off right there.
So this supposed to be paperwork and documents, right? That's what this supposed to be, a court report, a police report? Ebony, it's supposed to be a police report?
I just got this article. I'm not sure exactly if it's a police report, but it looks like somebody's reporting on the actual incident.
Well, here's the thing, right? In order to get police reports, court paperwork from 1968, it's probably available, but you would have to go down there in person and request it. And that shit is probably held in some type of library somewhere, right? Now,
Right. I would think so. They did give a the actual what is it? They gave that number out, which was the indictment. It says the Cook County grand jury subsequently returned an indictment number 68-443, which charged James Highsmith and Leonard Longstreet with aggravated battery on Larry Hoover. So
now these individuals, we talk about 1968, we talking about the height of all these organizations being established. We talking Black Panther area. We talking about the height of a lot of things, right? So when we dealing with this, right, Larry Hoover go to jail, I believe, in 75. So we talking about 7 years. This just me. Ain't no way from 68 to 75, his growth years, to becoming who he is to his organization, his clique, his crew, whatever they want to call it back then. We know Mr. Hoover don't represent that today. But I find it hard to believe it was a shooting and some dudes was incarcerated and they still put this man in position to be who he is. He goes to prison.
And he went in 73, so shoot, that was
So
even 2 years.
73, so we like 68, 3, that's 5 years. He goes to prison. When he gets to prison, he's who he is. You hear nothing of it. In prison, his growth in prison, and back then it was some of the most deadliest, dangerous times, I'm sure. You hear nothing of it then. 10 years, 20 years, he catch fed time, life sentences. He goes to the feds, you hear nothing of it then. 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 52, 53 years. You hear nothing of it until 24 hours after a pardon. So my question is, who went down or had knowledge of the court building and requested these documents? We need to know where that person is.
Right.
Because without that person, I'm going to call it cap. I'm going to call it took 53 years, no, 58 years. The 5 years he was on the street, the 53 he been confined, for this to pop up. Okay. A lot of these people might not be alive, but shit, where they family members at? Where's the chatter of this at? Where I have heard nothing about it. 24 hours after Larry Hoover been pardoned by Trump on the Fed side, all of a sudden, some alleged snitch paperwork pops up from 1968. I ain't buying it. I'm gonna tell you what this is. This is a plot and ploy to try to get Larry Hoover assassinated before they release him from them state facilities. They're trying to plant a seed right now with them youngsters. Plant a seed right now in that state facility for somebody who may want to get a rep, might want to get a rep, and have an excuse of doing it. Send Mr. Hoover in his 70s to this state facility where he can finally go outside and get some fresh air and use one of these people, these youngsters, to assassinate him because they couldn't do it. You gotta ask yourself, why now? They said he's gonna be transferred in the next 2-3 weeks, right?
Yep, they transferred him already. He at Dixon right now.
Okay, so now he's wide open. He ain't ADX where you can't get to him, right?
Facts.
Okay, so now he's wide open. Hey, listen, all you youngsters out there in that Illinois state, don't fall victim to it. They trying to get you to do that dirty work. This man has been too high profile. The government, the FBI, would have released this shit. Now, I don't know who behind it, but it must be somebody behind it, because you're not going to get me to believe the 5 years he was out from 68 to 73, nobody knew about this. From 73 to, I think, 97 is when he caught his Fed shit. So we got 83, 93, 24 years in the state. Nobody knows about this. He's rising to his height. These dudes he the toll on, Larry Hoover went to jail and he was 24 years old on this situation. Them dudes would have spoke on this. That nigga told on us. It would have been out there somewhere, somehow, some way. We know a lot of them might be dead now, but what happened 24, 34, 44, 54, 60? What happened in the last 50 years from his youth to him being an elderly man? 24 hours after a pardon, where they got to move him from a federal facility to a state facility, all of a sudden, some snitch paperwork comes out from 1968, which is what could only be obtainable from the archives if you go to the court building to request it, and you would probably have to be an attorney and or those individuals that were part of the case to get this paperwork. All of a sudden is up and is out. Nah, and I'm quick to jump on this. And all y'all know, hey, listen, I've been catching the flack for being, I don't know what they say, I just been speaking my truth. But in this situation right here, I believe this is a plot and a ploy to poison some of them people's minds in the state facilities who may be a part of and or against whatever organization Larry Hoover stood for and represented originally, which we know he has denounced it all. So you may have some people got some ill feelings about that who don't understand the political stance on why he had to do that. I don't see that as a weakness. I see that as a strategic move. But let's look at the facts. Somebody need to first show us the receipt of going to order this shit from the archives of that Illinois court. It gotta be a body that says we're the one that went and requested it. You ain't just pulling this off the internet. No. Even if you go look up on Google, are court documents from 1968 available out of Illinois court? Yes, records from 1968 would likely be available for Illinois court cases, but through access might be limited and may require in-person visit. 24 hours after his pardon, 24 hours after his pardon, Larry Hoover's a snitch. This coming from me, Wack 100. Anybody running this narrative against Larry Hoover, you should be considered the opposition. Your ass is going against the grain, and you should be punished to the maximum extent by whatever group, city, state, or organization that shall dictate that. Now, this is a time for the people to stand up. If this was your father, your grandfather, your elder, who done did 53 years clean, state and fed time, walked off 20 plus in the most notorious prison, ADX. This is where El Chapo at, the Unabomber, the Boston Marathon bomber, the worst of the worst. Ain't broke, ain't cracked, continued to deliver messages to the people to try to right his wrong. We get a renegade president in there that didn't mind doing what's right for our side of the track, and in 24 hours, alleged snitch paperwork from 1968 all of a sudden appears on social media. Nah. This is when we supposed to unite. This is when we supposed to stand up and beat our chest and say we ain't hearing it. Everybody in them state facilities, wherever Larry Hoover may be, this shouldn't be a discussion. This shouldn't be a conversation. This shouldn't be a chatter. This shouldn't be no questions asked. When y'all see this man, this shit shouldn't even be acknowledged. I ain't never seen this type of foolery or fuckery in my life. This is an attempt on that man's life, and I urge everybody to petition, because now this is the real reason on why they need to let that man go, because they are trying to put this man's life in jeopardy by releasing these documents. Somebody need to trace back and see who released this document right? I'm pretty sure you will find that it's a forged document. I'm pretty sure that you will find that it's not authentic. I'm pretty sure you will find that it's gonna lead back either to a troll, a op, or the motherfucking government. Either way, we need to disregard this shit like it never happened. On a Hunterside floor, I would appreciate it if this is never brought up again. We don't talk about it. We don't discuss it. Anybody that represents me, that stands with me, that moves with my movement, I would ask that you take this recording, you spread this recording. Other than that, we ain't showing no support or no representation for slandering this man's name with these false allegations.
Hey, Wack, do you think somebody really gonna try something though? Do you feel like somebody in that state pen gonna try something about this shit though?
Bro, I think that's why they released it. You know, we got fools, we got idiots, we got imbeciles, we got people looking for a rep. And believe it or not, although some people may love Larry Hoover, there's the other side of his movement that dislikes Larry Hoover. You know, it's no different than Tookie Williams being who he was, may he rest in peace, being released to General GP, and somebody releases something like this on him, and the blood feel like I'm gonna take my shot and stabs him. He gonna always have a rep. Now, those of us that have been living long enough know that that rep ain't gonna be worth nothing. But of course, everybody ain't thinking. You got dope fiends, you got dummies that'll take this shit and run with it. Those dudes that's on that yard need to make sure they put a wall in a circle around Mr. Hoover and protect him. Because you never know what dumb motherfucker may want to take the shot and use this as his reason of doing this type of shit. I mean, we talking about to obtain the paperwork from 1968, bro. It'll take a nigga damn near a year to get it, if they have it.
You know, this could be
He
the
gone
federal
already.
prosecutors from Chicago, because you know the federal
He in the
prosecutors from
state already.
Chicago did not want him out.
Hell yeah, they didn't want him in that federal. Nigga, you ain't on responsibility. Transpac.
Oh, so they already released.
He already in the state.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so now they released this shit where he's probably in an open area.
Oh.
Yeah, he already gone.
Oh, shoot.
It's crazy. They didn't even let they didn't even let this man bask in his glory for a day. Snitch paperwork out on Larry Hoover. Illinois somewhere else. Yeah, motherfuckers just hollering like this type of shit. Nah, man, that's some bullshit. You wouldn't even have access to that type of shit. Where these victims at? Where these dudes that did this time at? Any of the family members? Show us what legal entity, what attorney's office used their credentials to go down there and file to get this paperwork. Show me. I got to see that. I don't believe it. I believe it's a plot and a ploy to get one of them dummies in that on the state yard who want to get a rep to try to do something to him.
That's cold-blooded.
It's the world we live in. Yeah, this is crazy. I ain't never seen nothing this crazy. I mean, goddamn it, I know they think we fools, but we just can't play the fool.
Right.
So you saying you think when somebody put this out, so that way when they move them over there to Illinois.
Think about it.
Okay.
53 years. 5 years prior to that, he on the streets. He from 18 to 23, he on his rise in the street. Nigga, back then, them niggas would have blew your brains out, bro.
And they wouldn't even have let him make the Gangster Disciples if he was really that. You know
They wouldn't allow none of that. He wouldn't have had no positioning, no nothing, bro. He went to jail at 24. So whoever he did this here with, I'm pretty sure they around the same era, same age, give or take. So you telling me nobody sounded the trumpets? Nobody sounded the alarm? He kept attention on him. He on the yard moving the way he moving for him to catch his life sentences he called to be sent to the federal penitentiary. It ain't like he in that motherfucker quiet. But I want to know who used their credentials to go down to that courtroom and pull some documents on a case they ain't got nothing to do with from 1968.
Yeah, that's my question.
That's where we at.
That's the whole
Fuck what
thing.
it talking about. Fuck what it reads. Because what it's talking about, what it's reading, is more than likely motherfucking manufactured.
Yeah, that look like a newsletter. It don't look like no work.
That's my point. So the day they done moved him to the state and they drop it. Lavish, 53 years.
And then check this out, right? Guess what page that was the first one that dropped it?
Who's that?
That's one of the biggest blogging pages in Chicago. Like for all the street shit. All the street niggas go to that shit. Like when a nigga die, he posts all they shit first. He the first nigga got it when a nigga died in Chicago. That nigga been Squid Ape, he been around for a while. So
And
it's
guess
crazy
what?
that he got it first.
And guess what? Because guess what? If he drop it on some shit stationed in California, it probably won't reach the penitentiaries in Illinois.
Right.
All this shit is strategic bullshit. But some of us got voices out here. Some of us got some reach. You know what I'm saying? And my voice need to be heard. My reach need to be extended. Don't buy into the bullshit. It don't make sense. In order to obtain this, bro, nigga, you would need a legal office. And I'm gonna be real. You would have to be a family member or somebody directly involved for that legal office to even entertain going to file to get this. And when you file and got it, they would give you a cover page of receipt. Where is it at?
Yeah, it don't see no statement or nothing like that. It just that shit don't look official at all. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, it ain't. Yeah, where it's at. My thing is this. This ain't to prove he didn't do it. We know he didn't do it. My whole thing is, y'all don't fall victim and feed into the bullshit. Soon as he hit the state facility, they dropped this. And some of these people will hear about it, read about it, hear half the story, and run with it. Yo, Lavish, you know what it would do to that old man for him to be sitting in the cell, just getting there on intake, and a young nigga walk by and call him out his name?
Oh yeah, he gonna go off.
I don't believe I don't believe he didn't experience no shit like that. Nah. People, Illinois, youngsters, Muslims, all groups, y'all need to stand with that man and make sure them goofies, them dummies, make sure they ain't got no action of taking a shot at that man. That man in his 70s, he on his way out. Let that man make it to his family, man. This shit's some bullshit if I ain't never heard it.
Clubhouse TV. Clubhouse TV. Clubhouse TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's Clubhouse TV, back with another one. And this is where we don't duck no smoke. Now, y'all heard the content, man. Wack fired off after paperwork just surfaced accusing Chicago legend Larry Hoover of snitching. Say what? And Wack says this ain't just paperwork, it's set up for murder. Check this out. Word is some new so-called official paperwork just dropped online claiming that Larry Hoover gave up information years ago. Now, social media is going crazy, and folks are calling it a rat move, questioning his legacy and questioning his name. But here's where it gets real. Wack jumped on Clubhouse and immediately let it be known that this ain't just internet gossip. Wack said they're trying to line him up, and he believes this is a deliberate hit job on Hoover's name, his legacy, and his life. Now, Wack broke it down like this. Larry Hoover's been locked in federal prison for decades under Supermax status. All of a sudden, Trump commutes his sentence, they move him to state prison, and within one day, this alleged snitch paperwork pops up. Now, Wack says that timing is not a coincidence. They know state prison don't offer the same protection. So if they paint him as a rat, that's a death sentence. Somebody behind this knows exactly what they're doing. And if y'all know Wack, when he speaks on this level, it's deeper than gossip. He's sending out a warning. Wack also called out street politics behind this move. Said dudes behind the scenes might be threatened by Hoover's potential return to society, especially after Trump commuted his federal sentence. Now, if this man makes it out, he's got too much power, too much respect, and too many eyes on him. So what do? Drop a fake rat jacket and hope someone in the yard takes care of it. Now, Wack says this is chess, not checkers, and the feds might be playing dirty. So now, the question is the paperwork real, or is it a setup to get Larry Hoover clipped in state custody? Do you believe this is real snitching or a strategic move to erase a legend? Let me know what you think about the content in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're always notified when I drop new content. Subscribe to the media team so you get that exclusive Wack 100 content. Any questions, suggestions, need me to advertise for you on my channel? With over 40,000 subscribers, just get at me on IG and I'll get right back to you. As always, I certainly appreciate y'all for checking out Clubhouse TV